We're going to go over our Xfactor again with our emphasis on the lower back. And the first thing I do is like to sit in the swing with my feet on the ground just to get the leg loops on. It's just for support. We can do this from standing too. So let me show you what it looks like from standing, just so you can see it. I stand with the swing in front of me, starting back to back so you can see how the leg loops go on. So the arms go through, I push the leg loops down nice and low. I like them below the breast. It's much more comfortable. And then I put the outer leg loop, I transition that onto the tops of the shoulder. Now from standing, I have to give the swing a little kick and get my feet up there. So I'm going to hold on, make sure I don't have too much sway, slide the swing to the knees, position these so they feel good, and then lean back. Now I have like a little shirt on so the leg loops slide a little bit better. It's easier. It doesn't matter too much, but that's a preference. Okay, then I let the swing slide up to my bum. Once my feet touch down, I'm going to transition the swing to my hips. Make sure it's at the hips. So I have to give it a little hop, bring the legs wide and around, pressing my arms strongly in. So this is all working the neck and shoulders, which is just so glorious in and of itself. Okay, but after I do this version, I come into the full big squeeze straight up and down. Okay, so today we're going to come into girdle. So one way to come into girdle is just to get the leg loops all bunched around the waist. The second way is to come all the way through and flip. So I'm going to show you guys how to come up and then come back down, because what we want to do is transition into chillaxin. So we're going to use our brakes to lower down. So now we're in girdle, but it's a totally different configuration. It's a much bigger squeeze. Once we're here, we're just going to hang out. So all of this wrapping is pulling and tractioning through the hips, psoas, side joint, QL, everything. Now I can do all my leg variations from here. Come to a really amazing bow, which is a great traction on the hip flexors. I do this one quite a bit. Wide straddle, Konasana, all the variations. Now when I want to come out, I'm going to reach for my bum, okay? So the part of the leg loop that's on my outer thigh, I'm going to thread my feet through there. And when I pull, I'm going to come to sit. So the leg loops are wrapped around in this X in front of me. And then I can do my whole chillaxin sequence. Okay, so all of this emphasis on releasing the lower back, pulling the knees towards the center line, also gets into the adrenals and kidneys. This whole area back here is getting space and relief while hanging. So we get that suspension and that traction. I can come into all the different flows and variations, which just feels amazing. Feels totally different with everything squeezing towards the center line, particularly ladle. Again, getting into the QL and all of that tightness in the back body. Got into my bow. Focusing on the low back. We used this pose to focus on opening the heart yesterday, and now the emphasis is on my hips and lower back. One of the bigger poses that I like to do here is the wow. So the inverted W. So I push the leg loops down to the arches of the feet. Really strong through the legs. And then I can lean back. That's the easier one. If you want to do the stronger one, you're going to hold on to the leg loops and press. It really gets into the neck and shoulders as well. So cool. All right, whenever I'm ready to come down, forward folds are always great for the hamstrings and lower back, the glutes. Just let my feet find the ground. The X is going to be above me. And I'm going to hang out here. Now just notice where the X is on the swing, because it's really tough. If you can't do that flip and get into girdle, everyone's like, how else can I get into the sequence? We're going to practice putting our leg loops on like this. Threading one through, threading the other through, and then pulling these down and reversing it. Because I recently just figured out how to do this, okay? So that we can experience our chillaxing pose with all the energy pulling towards the center line without having to do the whole flip into curve. Okay? So let's try it. I'm going to keep the video going, but feel free to ask questions. We're focusing on the lower back, the QL, the SI joints, the hips, the psoas, the adrenals, the kidneys, that whole band of energy that we just emphasized, the abdominals and organs of digestion. I'm going to start back to back. Actually, now I'll face the camera this time. Turn around. Put the leg loops on. Get the swing in front of you. So you're standing at the back of your mat. Okay. And put the leg loops on, like a t-shirt, underneath the arms. I like to press it down. Once it's down, I'm going to go ahead and get the leg loops on top of the shoulders. Now, if you have any trouble going from getting up into girdle, we're going to do the first variation. So let's just try it. So once the leg loops are on, pull them apart so they're sitting on towards the outer shoulder, not the neck. And then you have to kick the swing forward with your hands and time it to get your foot up there. Good. That's really challenging for people, so we can always start by sitting in the swing. Hold on to the leg loops, bend the standing leg so you don't have a big swag. Get both feet up there and then slide it to the knees. Good. Now we can lean back and use our chillaxin arms and just take a pause. Pressing the hips up strongly, you're engaging through the back of the hamstrings and the glutes. So that intersection where the hamstring inserts into the sit bones, it's a real sleepy part for a lot of people, and we want to get that activated. So that's going to balance tightness in the hip flexors. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Then we can let it just slide, let the swing slide up towards the bum. When the feet touch down, hold on to the swing. Get it above the hip bones. Above the hip bones. Now you have to straighten your arms and press the swing away strongly to lift, wide, wrap the legs around. Make sure the swing feels like it's in the sweet spot of your back. Just even this going through love bug, curl in into arched position, shoulder squeeze back and forth. We emphasized the shoulders yesterday. Today we're going to straighten the legs and see if we can come up. And I will come help you if you need, but let's just see if we can. So straighten the legs. We're going to reach up, grab for the swing, and pull ourselves up. Grab for the swing, pull yourself up. It's that big sit up. Good. I know, it's a balancing thing. So once we're here, we're going to use our brakes. Okay? I call them the brakes. So the X is in front of you. You got to lean forward and lower yourself down, nice and slow and controlled. Yeah. Keep your legs wide and heavy. Don't bring your legs towards the sky. That's how you slide out. Wide and heavy. That's our hook. Beautiful, guys. Okay. So feel the girdle, right? You guys feel what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a triple squeeze on the hips and abdomen. It feels amazing. Now from here, we're just going to hang out. You can clash your elbows like a peaceful warrior. Just hang. My legs are still in a wide straddle and heavy, just so we can feel where that lock is. Got that anchor. But we're holding on in so many places, we're actually safe enough that we can bend our feet back towards our bum. Knees are going to be pointing towards the sky, and you can come into a bow. Okay, so hold on to your ankles and stretch your hip flexors. Really important to stretch and open up the hip flexors if you're going to release the lower back. It's all connected. People's quads and hip flexors are way too tight. And the hamstring into the glutes is way too sleepy. So we need to get those balanced. Okay, release your ankles, come back around, hold on to your toes, and come through a Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees open wide, arch and open the chest. Okay, now from here, we're going to reach back towards our bum, and then you're going to hold on to the outer leg loop, the one that's closer to your IT band. And then you're going to thread your feet through that little spot and then pull yourself up to sit. Just try it. That's it. And then pull yourself up to sit. Yes, when you're there, you let the leg loops slide down. Good job. Everyone gets a little entangled in that, in that one. But we did it, right? Yeah, it might eat your clothes, so get comfortable again. All right, so just notice how different this feels if this is your first time doing this. Everything is squeezing towards the center line in this really beautiful way. Your sacrum is spreading, your hips are dropping. It's opening up this part of the body that holds a lot of tension. And there is such a thing as like tight ass. There's an actual booty lock happening in our worlds that we're trying to counterbalance here. Now I'm going to come into chillaxing arms, and I want you to just try and squeeze your legs apart and feel what happens, and then what muscle groups are being activated that are totally different than our normal swagger. And then even a little side to side, using all of that resistance that we're not going nearly as far, but it's helping us, yes, to deepen in the twists. It's just so cool, right? Very different. And let's just try our chill flow. First of all, we're going to inhale, open the arms, and exhale, child's. And just feel what it's like to really round in and stretch the kidneys. Open up the space for the adrenals. Lengthen through the lumbar and lower back. And just let that feel good. All right, and then from there, star. Hips really heavy. You're not going to go as far, but heart opens. Hands and legs expand, and then namaste. Squeeze the hands to prayer around. I believe it's the swing still. So many hooks. And then lean back. And then ladle. Ladle feels particularly good because it's squeezing the Q well. It's above the hip bones, right? Yeah, for anybody who has had lower back pain, this is incredibly relieving. And then we're going to bend our knees, reach back and grab the ankles if that's a possibility. Just notice what's different. Your knees are pulling towards the center line automatically for you. So there's better alignment in these poses. And then we're going to reach up, grab for the swing, head up, hips down. Let's straighten the legs into a forward fold. So press the leg loops that are crossed down to your ankles. And just notice the forward fold here. Way more intense and powerful, leading with the chest instead of yanking on the head. Deep stretch. Beautiful. And then switch to the arches of the feet for our wow position. Now the first well, again, pulling apart, we're using our adductors, right? Really strong. We're going to hold on to the swing and lean back. This is our easier one. Maybe that's enough, right? Straight up and down. Really cool. Now to do the more advanced version, we're going to come to sit. Reach up and grab for the leg loop. Wherever you can reach is probably the right place. I keep pressing my legs apart, but then when I pull straight up and down, big arch through the upper back. It is a wow. So awesome. Come on back down. Lower nice and slow. And we want to come out. 1 foot at a time. We just look. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously wrung out. Yeah, and so let's just say the person's not flipping into girdle yet. Too much, right? What we can do is from here, so you guys on the video were like, yeah, that's not happening. So what we can do is come out and do this with me so you can get a sense of it. We're going to take our leg loops. We're going to take the leg loops and kind of thread it through the swing. 1. And then second side, thread it through. Then we can put the swing behind our back and get into a similar position where the leg loops will be above our head. And then, this is why we demo. Wait. And then you can pop into the crisscross chillaxing. Okay? A little complicated, but good to know that you can get into it without having to do the flip into girdle. So in class, when people would miss one of the hooks, and they'd be like, how do I get back in? I was like, gotta wait for the next train. That train took off without them. And now we can actually come out. It's pretty easy to figure out, actually, but we can come out figure out where the leg loops need to go, and try again. So the swing threads through the center of one leg loop, hold that one up, leg loop threads through, swing threads through again. Okay, so now they're crisscrossed. All right, a little complicated, but worth it.